Imagine for a moment a world where Steven Seagal, rather than Danny Glover, took on the iconic role in Predator 2. It's a striking concept that instantly captivates the imagination and leads us to wonder how drastically different this beloved sequel might have turned out. Here at Joe Blow, we hold a special fondness for Predator 2, not only because it successfully steers clear of the PG-13 rating, but also due to the unique dynamic Danny Glover brings to the table. His character stands in stark contrast to the tough, muscle-bound persona of Arnold Schwarzenegger from the original film, contributing significantly to the sequel's charm. However, what many might not realize is that Glover was not initially the frontrunner for the lead role in this action-packed continuation of the franchise. Instead, the spotlight briefly fell on the action star Steven Seagal, who, in 1990, stepped away from his association with Warner Bros. To collaborate on an action film with 20th Century Fox. That project eventually turned into Marked for Death, arguably one of Seagal's most noteworthy films outside of his acclaimed work in Under Siege. Yet, what if the narrative had taken a different route? The potential of Seagal headlining Predator 2 under the skilled direction of Stephen Hopkins was indeed a possibility. Patrick Swayze was also considered during those discussions. In a recent conversation with Howard Gorman for Scream magazine, Hopkins revealed some fascinating insights into this almost collaboration. For those keen to dive deeper, the full interview is available for viewing here. During the dialogue, Hopkins recounted, "Seagal was on board, and I had to go have a meeting with him at his house, which was one of the crazier afternoons I've experienced, primarily aimed at persuading him not to do it. It was quite strange. He's an unusually eccentric individual, and ultimately, I found it hard to envision the character working with him. It didn't sit well with me. I felt it would veer towards something that lacked authenticity. While there is a fair amount of cheesy moments in the film as it stands, I think they aptly align with the coolness factor of the franchise." Evidently, Seagal was enthusiastic about the project. When I arrived at his house, he gave a firm handshake and led me into a room where every wall was adorned with firearms. He expressed his desire to portray a CIA psychiatrist who is also a martial arts expert with a penchant for carrying a gun. I spent quite some time listening to his ideas, which definitely had a touch of madness to them. I concluded, this direction strays considerably from our original vision, so perhaps it's best we don't proceed. However, Seagal's eagerness didn't wane. As we left, he put his arm around me and invited me to his ranch in Santa Barbara, where he had a grenade launching range, suggesting we could unleash some grenades together. I nodded along, thinking, sure, that sounds great. But in reality, it never materialized. To be frank, I'm not particularly a fan of his. Interestingly, Hopkins also had a meeting with Arnold Schwarzenegger, suggesting they had a reasonable rapport. However, Schwarzenegger unexpectedly withdrew from the project at the last minute. Hopkins speculates that this could have possibly stemmed from James Cameron's influence, as the director didn't want Schwarzenegger to take part in Predator 2 while preparing for the monumental sequel, Terminator 2. Hopkins provided intriguing details about how the film might have opened if Schwarzenegger had starred in it, alongside various revelations about the production process. If you're a true fan of this often overlooked sequel, the comprehensive chat between him and Gorman is certainly worth a watch. While I appreciate the final outcome of Predator 2, I can't help but feel a twinge of curiosity